Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out just like the sunrise. We gonna let it out now. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out tonight. We gonna let it out just like the sunrise. We gonna let it out now.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Assuming you're watching in the present. If you're watching in the future, well, hello, future people. As always, it's wonderful to see you fine folks. I am joined by this side, the marvelous AJ. Every software, live broadcasting, first of all, every software either mirrors or doesn't, and it's just getting used to it takes a minute. AJ, hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for the show. I'm interested to see what happens today.
It should be fun. We're doing something a little bit different today, but before we get into that, we are once again graced with the presence of the Queen of Detroit, Miss Kelly King. How are you this fine morning?
A little tired, but I'm here.
I get that. I actually, as is my tradition, I'm going to start with something completely fucking off topic. We are going to be getting into our main subject for today is ancient monsters from the depths of time that scientists have been bringing back, and it should be really freaking cool. But off topic, I was up way too late last night, and this is why these fellas on this channel called The Humanity, they stream. It's The Humanity Live here on YouTube. It's on my list on betterthanember.com. They stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and they do what many of our favorite creators do, which is highlight silly apologists and patriarchal oppressive assholes and make fun of them. And so I've been hanging out over there Wednesday evenings when the algorithm reminds me. And they caught my attention last night, and it was wonderful because I was having a really crappy day. Like I don't even want to go into it. It was unpleasant. And then they were making me laugh, and then they opened up the panel, and so I came on and visited, and I'm not going to play much, but I'll play a little bit if I can find the window I put that in. I came on at about 2 hours and 38 minutes in. It's a long show, but
Oh,
it's
wow.
fun, and it's fun to hang out at. So here's a little bit of that.
She is sure she's not.
I do like how your hat is present in person and in your little like icon on social media.
Oh, for sure. Well, this is just one of many hats. I'm famous for my hats, but this is my favorite. Like if I just throw on a hat, it's probably
it.
this one.
Well, it works.
It's literally on the top of my pile of hats. Like, I have
Okay,
all these
how many
hats
hats
right
do
next
you
to
have?
me.
Have you counted them?
Yeah, there's I just stack them up. Because you got to have the hat that goes with the outfit, right? And yes, this isn't the ideal hat for a tennis dress, but it's blue, and I don't have a tennis hat dress, so we're improvising. It's fine.
It works. It works.
But yeah, so I got to go play with them last night. So if you want to catch that, it was fucking hilarious, at least from my end, and it was pretty great. Subscribe to their channel so you can catch future shows. Subscribe to this channel so you can catch future shows. All those fun things. Also, there's other things happening IRL. This weekend, a show opens at a community theater that I've been helping with photography stuff, and they just started showing off the promo poster I made for them, and since it's public now, I thought I would bring it out and show all y'all. It's they're producing Blithe Spirit, obviously, and it's a classic show. It's set in the 50s asterisk, and it really, really appeals to the skeptic in me because there's a fortune teller medium person doing the Fox Sisters thing, channeling the spirits, except there's actually a spirit, and hilarity ensues. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Cool poster though.
Yeah. Do you guys have favorite theatrical productions of any kind?
Oh my God, I do not. I do not do any type of theater. I think it's usually because of my hearing. That's why I also don't do movie theaters. I just watch the movies when, like, after they come out at home. So yeah. Sorry to disappoint you. What
It's
about
all
you,
good.
Ellie?
Not everybody's into it, and that's fine.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's a new play. It's called Confederates, and it's about Black women, the correlation and the struggles they have between slavery time and today. It's a very insightful and emotional play that I really found very intriguing, and I wish everybody should watch it. It's a small production in the Black community, but it's very. I ended up crying in the end. I'll just say that. But yeah.
Well, that's what good art is supposed to do, is to move you to feel things.
Right.
So yeah,
Well, I was
can't
really moved.
but I'm glad to hear it. Stuff like that, like Steel Magnolias is a popularly known one that
Right.
can be very emotional, It's good shit. We I'm a huge supporter of the arts, as evidenced by the fact that I produce stuff to help the local theater bring more people in, and art
That's
all over them.
awesome. I
And
love
such.
that. So
Yeah.
do you act? Did you act yourself in the like the local theater, or you just bring people?
Yeah, we actually did. We were doing cast photos. Like they like to put headshots of the actors in costumes in the lobby before the show. And while we were doing that, we were like, well, everyone is here, which almost never happens. Why don't we do a cast photo together? And then because I'm a crazy person, I took the cast photo and I'm like, this can be more than just a photo. I'm like, I can do something with this. And so that night I stayed up way too late working on that because I just couldn't stop tinkering and making it more and more and more until it was this.
Love that creativity flowing.
Yeah, it's the hyper focus thing. But in
Oh
my
yeah,
opinion,
yeah, I get
worth
that
the effort.
totally. I stayed up way too late too. I was doing some document that I needed to do, but I was like super focused and like yeah, I couldn't stop.
Yeah, I get lost in my work and then suddenly it's 6 hours later and I forgot to feed myself or something. It's just, oh.
Totally happens to me. Yeah, I'm like,
Mhm.
wait, I'm doing all this and super focused and like all this work, and my brain completely forgets to do like the basic.
Yeah, we work with what we've got, and sometimes our brains are a little spicy, and that's a thing AJ knows very much about. That's for anybody who doesn't know, I can't imagine how that's possible at this point. But for anybody who doesn't know, what do you do on your channel over at Ways to Human?
Oh, well, I do like a lot of brain science stuff. Again, I will repeat this all the time. I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. It's just such a passion of mine. And I started really learning about the brain because of my kid, who's like super neurodivergent, all the neurodivergent, has OCD, is autistic, and ADHD. So it was like a really rough combination, but I had to figure it out. And it really helped me deconvert. And then I started doing the videos about it, like kind of helping people understand how your brains work. And speaking of neurodivergence, I recently had a really lovely neurodivergent and gender diverse person on my channel as well. So that video is super fun. We were talking about all that interesting stuff, how the brain
Hell
is
yeah.
very spicy.
Yeah, we love the neurospices around these parts. Keeps things interesting. I mean, how boring would the world be if everybody were normal? What even is normal? Like to me, neurotypical people are weird, right? Like they don't come right out and say what they want. They always hint at things like it sure would be nice if the dishes were clean instead of saying, "Could you please wash the dishes?" I
Right,
digress.
yeah. Go straight up. Be more straight. Communication. Improve communication.
Yeah.
I
But I
think I
also
have the problem of being the leader of thinking somebody should know what should be done because I know what should be done. And so I probably will be the one. The dishes would be nice if they would be done. I think I am that kind of person because I'm like, I don't really like asking for anything. So I kind of make hints.
Yeah,
Though they
with
always say
my
closed mouths don't get fed. So maybe I need to speak up more.
that's a good one. That's a good. Yeah,
it's
I
it's
think I
hard.
guess I got used to like being super straight because of my kid because like I would say something and they will literally do that thing, but it wasn't the whole thing that I asked them to do, and I was like, well, why didn't like, or you only asked me that part? So
Mhm.
it's like so I have to be like very specific.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
it's
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sure.
But
I was just gonna say it's like that goddess we were talking about yesterday. The I'm gonna screw it up. So the lion-headed goddess who goes by Eye of Ra, who incidentally, Deviant Outcast is gonna
a
be joining
segment.
me on Monday to discuss more dark goddess stuff, which should be really, really cool. More about the Egyptians specifically, but also in general, because we can't stay on topic here. It's just a thing. But it's a lot like that. Like she was given a specific task. Go destroy humanity. And then she was doing it. And the gods were like, no, no, not like that.
Right, you gotta communicate exactly what you want if you expect people to actually understand it fully. Because yeah, I've definitely learned that there's so many people. Okay, here's the thing that helped me really learn that, and it's when I was asked how do I think, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do I think? I was like, no, how do you think? Like, how does the process in your brain go? of thinking. Like, is it visual? Is it? I released a video last night exactly about this,
Yeah.
and like, is it colorful? Is it static images? Is it like a video image? Is it type text? Is it blank? So that really helped me. Like, and when I meet people, I ask them how do they think, because it helps me, I don't know, understand better like their way of thinking. Like, there's people that don't have a whole lot of it's more like instinctive behavior rather than any thought behind it, which is called aphantasia.
And that's weird
So,
because I didn't even know that people thought differently. Because I have
right, we all think
audio.
everybody thinks the same as us.
Yeah, I think everybody thinks inside because I hear the voices. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's what I hear. The voices
No, no,
saying
no, me
stuff
too.
to me. I don't see no visual things, like unless I close my eyes and I'm dreaming. But
Right. So when before I got
yeah.
my cochlear implant, I used to think, like, especially during my teenage years, childhood, and early adulthood, I used to think in like really, really visual, vivid colors. I could like create all these scenarios with people, with places, all kinds of things, like super image driven. But I think it was because I couldn't hear. And so, like, my hearing was something like 15% on the better side. And then when I got the cochlear implant, it went to about 70% hearing, right? It's not perfect. Like, when it's video is better because it's streamed right into my brain. So probably
Okay.
say like 90% hearing.
Okay.
And my thinking shifted. Now it's like blah blah blah, like just a voice, people's voices, like everybody's
Yeah.
voices and accents and stuff, but it's hardly visual. Like, I don't and also I think it's because my vision decreased to where I went blind for a few years. Then I had the cornea transplant, and now I can see better, and I dream in more colors, but still my thinking really has a hard time visualizing things. Like, I can remember memories, but they come in still images, not like a video,
Okay.
and it's like really like toned down in color. So it's like I can't like visualize. Like, if you describe some type of creature, I probably couldn't visualize it. I could draw it, but not like visualize it in my brain. So, like, I guess the input that we get through our senses changes the way that our brain processes thoughts and it. And so,
That's really, really fascinating because,
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
it stands to reason that like a person who's blind, their brain will process based on the senses they get, or a person who's deaf, will have like visual memories but not audio ones. But you've been through a life where your senses have been turned up
both,
and down
yeah.
at different points,
Yeah,
and it
both.
changed the way your brain worked in those times.
Right, and I think it definitely changed like the way I make decisions, or like, because that changes the way your brain thinks inside. That will change the way you're processing your other experiences as well. And I would think, I don't know exactly, but I feel like it has.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I can certainly attest to how changes in your senses can relate to other changes in your neurology, which changes the way you think, you express, different things like that. It's like, for example, um, since I started actually transitioning, my sense of smell has gotten a lot stronger, and it's changed my behavior. Like, I there's places that I used to be able to stand the smell, and now it's overwhelmingly horrific, and so I just avoid those places, you know?
I'm
Like, I
sure,
think
but
about things differently, and it's just smell. It's similar effects with other things.
oh
I
yeah, no,
know.
it can trigger really strong memories too. Like the smell of hand sanitizer, like takes me back to like the days of my kids' open heart surgeries. It's just like the
Ooh.
it's emotional, like you feel it in your body. But anyways, all that to say that it helps me understand the way that people might perceive what I'm saying. Like, somebody that's highly visual, maybe they're not receiving the instructions that I'm saying the same way that somebody who's highly verbal and that can sort of record my voice, right? And be like, oh, this is what she said, and this is what I have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. It's oh goodness. I don't know. Now I'm like trying to reprocess some of my older memories because I have memories from when I was very, very small. And like I can remember people talking, but since I didn't understand English at the time, the sounds they made aren't encoded as words. So it's almost like in those memories, it's like a Charlie Brown cartoon where the teacher's like, "Burp, burp, 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 burp," you
Why, like
know?
muffled? Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense. That makes complete sense. Yeah,
my memories have always been visual. I've
yeah,
always had visual memories, and things will pop up in my head. Like, why am I thinking about this? You know.
yeah. My husband is the opposite of me. He says that everything is like really abstract and very colorful and very highly visual, like video running sort of. And but he's very artistic. Like he can
Okay.
Yeah,
paint really cool stuff.
that actually explains a bit because like I mean I haven't seen him and encountered him all that much, but we've popped up in some of the same chats here and there, and I don't know, just choosing the handle cognitive echo kind of it gives that implication of like abstract thinking, right?
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
I'm
so too.
overthinking. I do time
No,
to
no,
time.
I think you are. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. He's probably listening to us right now. I'm gonna ask him later.
Well,
Hey, Joseph, if you're watching.
yeah, since you're joining us this morning, I have one more distraction tangent before we get to the main topic. So we have a group where all of us who've been on Java and Jugs, we chat, we try to get things worked out so we can produce more of those shows. But we also talk generally in that particular chat. And I can't remember the exact details of how it came up, but I was talking about the rainbow dress that's in my channel trailer
Oh
and
yeah, I said
how,
that it was beautiful, and you started talking about it.
yeah,
Then I had to
we're
show off
talking
my
about
rainbow dress.
I know. We were talking about how it didn't fit back in June. It didn't fit properly. It was like tight in some places and loose in some other places, and it was like super unflattering. And my shape has changed considerably since the end of June. So AJ was like, "Well, try it again and see if it works better." So I did, and it does fit better. So yeah, I mean,
Yay! I love it.
I love the
but
dress on you too. And it looks beautiful on you.
yeah, it's like 2 months difference. It's fucking wild. So yeah, I just wanted to like show off the comparison, uh, because
Oh,
AJ was the reason I took that photo.
Yay!
oh, I thought you were just trying to show everybody how beautiful you looked.
I know. If you got it, flaunt it.
I know you trying to show
Hey,
everybody. You ain't got to lie, bro. You just look beautiful in the
we
dress.
got to
Trying
take
to show everybody.
Okay, so I want to start off with an article because this is literally the only place I can find this particular story reported. And so yeah, I'll just dive in. Scientists wake up ancient life that's been under the seabed for 100 million years. And here's a photo. It's a magnified image. Actually, I'll make it bigger so y'all can see. We can hide down here in the corner. It'll be fine. Deep below the seafloor, locked in a layer of 100 million year old sediment, a life form quietly lives. It's dwelling in the depths, it's waiting for its time to emerge, or something. It's not quite Godzilla, nor a long lost megalodon, but it does go to show how life on Earth can dwell under the most extreme and bizarre circumstances. I can read, it's fine. It's actually over
I
on the corner
can't.
of my
So.
screen,
I
and there's
can't
stuff
see
in
that.
there. Scientists discovered that communities of microbes living beneath the seafloor are able to survive in rock sediments for over 100 million years with desperately little nutrients. After being coaxed under the right conditions in a lab, the ancient microbes are even able to snap out of their hibernation to metabolize and multiply once again. Reported in the journal Nature Communications back in 2020, researchers from Japan's Agency for Marine Earth Science and Technology, Jamstack and the University of Rhode Island got their hands on these microbes by gathering sediment samples from 75 meters below the seafloor in the Pacific Ocean, which is nearly 5,700 meters below sea level. That's stupid deep. That's
Wow. Are these like multicellular organisms or just like single cell?
I think these ones are single cell, but we're
Okay.
going to get into some multicellular in momentarily.
Okay.
This microbial life was capable of being revived through finely tuned techniques in laboratory incubated with isotope labeled carbon and nitrogen laced nutrients. And within 10 weeks, the isotopes showed up in the microbes, demonstrating that they were metabolically active and capable of feeding and dividing. Quote, these are the oldest microbes revived from a marine environment. Stephen DeHunt, study author and professor of oceanography at the University of Rhode Island, told IFL Science in 2020. Quote, even after 100 million years of starvation, some microbes can grow, reproduce, and engage in a wide variety of metabolic activities when they're returned to the surface world. The microbe communities became trapped beneath the seafloor long ago. Thanks, article author. No shit long ago. After being buried by layers of sediment in the global flood. I mean, wait, layers of sediment made up of marine snow, debris, dust, and other particles. This layer of sediment from the study was deposited over a period from as recently as 13 to as far back as 101.5 million years ago. That's pre-dinosaur extinction. That's Titanosaurus times. It's fucking ridiculous amounts of time.
Wow.
If the sediment is formed under the right circumstances, oxygen is still just about able to penetrate through these depths, but little else can migrate, suggesting that the microbial community stayed put for all these years. While the layer does contain oxygen, it has very limited amounts of organic material, such as carbon, and is an unbelievably harsh environment for life. In the incubated lab conditions, some of the microbes responded rapidly, increasing in number by more than 4 orders of magnitude over the 68 days of incubation. Even the oldest, 101.5 million year old sediment, they observed the microbes uptaking the isotopes and increasing in cell numbers. Most of the microbes appear to be aerobic bacteria, meaning they're microbes that need oxygen they need oxygen to survive and grow. Given the scarcity of nutrients that far down, it's likely these microbes have slowed down their body clocks to live an extremely sluggish life, complete with a slow metabolism and very slow evolutionary speed. Time capsule of ancient microbes. They're not hibernated like some of the other critters we've seen before, but running so slowly that, it's wild. We believe this community has remained there for 100 million years with an unknown number of generations. Since the calculated energy flux for sub-seafloor sedimentary microbes is barely sufficient for molecular repair, the number of generations could be inconceivably low, Professor DeHunt explained to IFL Science. It was once assumed that life could only survive just a few meters beneath the seabed, namely near the continental edges where lots of organic matter can be found. However, this study affirms researchers are now showing that life beneath the seafloor is much more diverse and fascinating than previously realized. In a separate study published in March 2020, scientists even discovered microbial communities living 750 meters beneath the seabed. There's life literally everywhere. What thoughts have you?
I it makes me think that they weren't necessarily like dead, they were just like dormant. They just took 100 million year nap.
Yeah. They were sleepy. They were sleepy.
Kind of dozing off, being like, it makes me wonder how many other life forms there are. Obviously, it's easier for microbes than macroorganisms like ourselves, but
Yeah.
how many other organisms are there from how far back are basically in stasis for millions upon millions of years? And what happens when they like reappear, like I mean, it seems to me from an evolutionary environmental perspective, they'll either get eaten immediately by more derived life forms that have had a chance to continue to evolve where they've been stuck, or they will do something that nothing on Earth is prepared to deal with because it hasn't been around for millions and millions of years, and they'll become super invasive and take everything over.
This is
One or
just
the other.
showing me.
Yeah, I can't imagine how this is gonna help scientists understand like the way that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we're gonna figure out a way to use this on humans, like this knowledge. I know that there was gosh, I wish I could remember the exact details. Um, but there was an article that we covered on another show about this jellyfish, this type of jellyfish, that whenever one of them gets injured, like let's say one side chopped off, it joins with another one, and they just become one. Uh, so basically, their neurological system combines with the other one, but the other one doesn't reject it the way that humans reject other humans' body parts, right? Like when you do a transplant, you have to take medications to prevent rejection from the transplant. However, these jellyfish, they don't have that problem. So scientists are using that to try to understand how they can apply that to humans, why and understand why we reject organs of somebody that's also in our species, but these species do not reject organs from somebody that's in their same species. Fun fact, the only part that didn't join is their buttholes, which actually come and go as needed. It appears when the jellyfish has to excrete waste, and it disappears
Oh,
after.
okay.
So that's a fun fact.
Monostones, where like they just shot everything back out their intake tube.
Anyway.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
I think like this type of this type of discovery is like it's really cool, really cool for science.
yeah. We can learn things we didn't even think to try to learn about, which is it's neat.
Right.
But what your thing about jellyfish also reminds me of in I forget the term for it, but tree science, grafting, right? Because trees don't
Yeah.
have they have an immune system, but it's nothing like the way it works in mammals because they
Yeah.
don't have a circulatory the same as we have, right? Um, so sometimes you can take a branch from one tree and graft it onto another tree, and it'll take and it'll grow and it'll do its thing, right? Like there's a scientist based in Syracuse, I believe, who's been creating, he calls them 40 fruit trees. Some of them have more than 40, but he's taking like a stone fruit like an apple or a cherry, and he's clipping on 40 different species from the same family, fruits that have like pits or hard seeds in them, because they're all related, and so it's easier to graft. And the idea is you can plant one tree, and because of the many species on it, it will produce fruit all year. And the idea is to plant them all over the place so homeless people can just walk by and grab a food, at any
I
fucking time.
love that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, when I
Yeah.
visited my parents in Switzerland, it's a lot more rural than in the U.S., but pretty much everybody has some kind of fruit tree planted on their it wouldn't be a sidewalk because it's like I guess on the side of the sidewalk that's next to the fence, but it's outside their fence. And anybody that's walking by can grab the fruit. Like the homeowners put those trees there for people to grab fruit as they're walking by. So you just grab like a snack, like whatever you need at that point. It's not like people go and grab a whole basket full.
I remember my neighborhood I was in, and one time we had a community garden, and anybody could take the fruit and vegetables, and some, I would say, Karen type person um, end up protesting and having to stop. We had to stop doing it. I thought that was
No.
crazy, like we're just trying to make sure people can eat, and you're stopping it. And they said because a lot of animals were trying to go over there and mess with it and things like that.
That's sad.
Yeah, but what can we do?
Like they could try to solve a problem instead of just removing the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, some solutions or some problems don't have ready solutions. Like some things take more than just collective effort. They take like community effort. And some things even a community just can't take care of. It takes specialists, it takes political will in order to even begin to try to do something about.
Purple's here.
Hey,
You know,
Purple.
there's a purpley another ancient, incidentally. Purple may well hail from the period our first critters are from. I'm going to lose nerd points, but I can't remember how long ago Triceratops and Triceratopsids lived.
I've already been lost my nerd point, so
Yeah,
join
they
the
could well
club.
from the 100 million-year-old range, like our microbial friends. So that's pretty neat. I found us one of the 40 fruit trees. I actually have a photo. I found one in Pennsylvania some years ago, but I don't keep most of my, because as a photographer, I take a lot of fucking photos. And so they're on external hard drives. And I don't know which hard drives have that photo because it's a ways back and I don't have time to find it. So I just Googled the damn thing. But yeah, they're called, apparently they're called the tree of 40 fruit.
Wow, it
So
looks
yeah,
really colorful.
yeah, it's super neat.
See,
Purple say they're 66.2 million years old.
Oh, where is it? Where is it?
yeah, I'm only 6,000.
The Earth is no more not older than 6,000. So
Yeah, I was here when the Earth was created. I don't look a day over 5,000.
you're the original Eve.
I'm Lilith. I would never be Eve.
Lilith, okay, gotcha.
I'm Lilith.
Sorry, my bad,
Yeah,
my bad.
I'm gone.
I don't. Well,
You ain't gonna control me.
The reject.
I'm the
It's an
reject.
interesting point of
Yes.
contention, theologically speaking, because Eve carries not just the baggage of obedience and subservience and shame and all that crap, but also being a trans woman, right? It's male turned into female by a surgical procedure, whereas Lilith was just born female, right?
Right. It's so funny, yeah, yeah. People don't want to hear that truth though, because that about you coming, being cloned, being the clone of Adam, basically.
Mm-hmm. It's a little wonky, but I mean there's a long tradition of genetic tinkering in biblical stories. Like obviously, famously, Jesus was a trans man since he had no paternal DNA whatsoever. It
I
was
have a
just.
video about that too. It made a lot of people
I gotta see
mad.
that.
Mhm. Well, I mean, the weird thing is when you propose the idea of trans man Jesus,
Oh,
they
they
want to
gotta flip a
crucify you.
wig.
Ironic, no sense of irony. They're just like, yeah, that's why he was crucified too. He was a trans man with 12 boyfriends, and the Romans fucking
That's what I
killed
always
him.
say about the 12 boyfriends. Like,
Yeah.
gay, I think not.
Oh, that's a whole show unto itself. I don't know. I actually on the damn show earlier, just before we started, Ryan was and other people in chat were talking about women scholars that we might want to invite either onto Job and Jugs when we get that working, or here, or whatever. And somebody brought up Jennifer Bird, and she says some controversial things from time to time too. So that could be really interesting. I did email her, and hopefully I'll hear back. Well, who knows? I mean, I'm sure she's a very busy person, as most of these scholarly types are. But we'll see.
I'm sure we could schedule like ahead, a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
And then
All right.
an Arctic Fox said, "Holy Jesus." I like that.
Boy had 12 boyfriends. The Romans agreed to crucify him out of jealousy.
That's right.
I
Pontius
know, right?
Pilate was
Jealous,
pissed.
jealous.
He was bringing
Don't
all the
hate,
boys to the
participate.
yard.
Jesus said, "Don't hate, participate. Come follow me. I'll make you fishers of men."
Ryan heard us talking about her. You know, you can feel free to jump in if you want, Ryan. The chat is, or
Yeah,
the
come
link
on,
is in the
girl.
Java and Jugs chat.
Come on in.
You can join us, girl.
Yeah.
Talk about these weird, creepy creatures.
She's famous now with her new commercial.
Oh,
Oh, I love
commercial,
it.
right.
Yes, I saw that earlier. It's so funny.
I can never do this right on camera. See?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know
I
how to
just
do
gotta
that
think.
either.
I
Well,
figure
you do
people
it. I
know what
don't
I'm talking
know.
about.
I know I'm bad at this job, but yes, as we've discussed, I never have freaking time to do a proper commercial the way Chris does, or the way Bria's done. You know, and they're fabulous. They're fantastic. I don't have to go dip off to refill my coffee every 20 minutes, but it would still be cool to have video clips that we could show from time to time just for laughs and whatnot. And so I have a very, very short one that was in the regular video that came out yesterday. But while I was on the Humanity Live last night, we came across another, it's a sort of a mini supercut. I guess that would just be a normal cut of apologists saying horrible or outrageously silly things. And we came across another one. So right on the show, I added it to the montage, and so I'll play that now.
Yeah.
It was actually a tremendous blessing to these children for them to be killed and go to heaven and be with God.
Carl, that kills people.
I have a problem with this stuff being normalized across the spectrum, and specifically, like, why push this on kids? Why introduce this to kids?
I want to be ignorant, honestly.
If God is not good, then guess what? We are all absolutely screwed.
Stop letting people pressure you into thinking.
What did I just watch?
I'm going to add more as I come across them. But if any of you have like a brief clip that you think would make a great addition, feel free to hit me up. I may add it in because it would be great to get that to like around 2 or 3 minutes of constant nonsense.
Yeah, that's wild. The kids being killed, that was like a favor to them. What? A privilege or whatever you called it. What the heck?
A great blessing to be killed. Yeah, it just shows the entanglement
blessing, that was the word. Yeah.
of this very problematic belief system. Like, you have to think that the mass murder of children is wonderful. You have to think that thinking is sinful and will cost you your salvation. You have to want to be ignorant, as the worst Eric said. You know, it's just
Right, like only learn what to think. Don't learn how to think, because that's bad. Dave from Captive Desk and I did a video where I was reading like different levels Bibles, from like a toddler type one to like a kid's one, and then like a teenage one, and we were comparing like how they very slowly increase the intensity of the indoctrination, but they start really, really mild and very positive, and then it gets more into like the bad stuff only by teenage years, because they already brainwashed them, you know. So like they won't question that anymore. So
yeah, that's why there's such a need for deconstruction, because, you know, I mean, I will make jokes about people who still believe in invisible friends into adulthood, who often, as a consequence of that, end up behaving like fucking children. So they're overgrown children. But for reals, though, when you're indoctrinated, when you're brainwashed, when you're programmed like that, it will go with you into adulthood until and unless you get the tools, resources, and frankly, privilege of a secure spot in life to be able to deconstruct. It's a whole fucking process because you have to undo huge chunks of your childhood that turn out are actually super fucking traumatic.
Yeah, like you have to realize like all the people around you, like whether did they lie to you, did they know? It makes you like question yourself and question the people around you. It just sucks. It's not as easy as like waking up one day and being like, oh, you know what, I don't believe anymore. Like, no, it's a slow
No.
process.
You
Yeah,
think
it
something's
can
wrong
take
with you?
quite a while.
You
So
think
yeah,
something's wrong with you and everything like that? Because
yeah, like why am I
you don't think the
doubting? Why
normal
can't
of
I?
everybody else around you. Depressive, mental
Oh yeah,
state is not right. A whole bunch of
yeah.
other stuff. But
And
yeah,
that's why
it's not
there are
easy.
shows like Deconstruction Zone. Yes, Justin's been doing a lot of dunking on MAGA people and some of the worst theists, like we've been seeing here in that little clip. But he also does a lot of work. Brandon from Mindshift also is very, very good for helping people work through the bullshit and unpack it and try to have a better life because of it. But if you are a person who's struggling with these things or the social consequences, that's what the Recovering from Religion Foundation is all about. And links to them are in the description of every fucking video. So if you need them, if you need someone to talk to, even if you're still a believer, they don't care, they don't judge, they just want to help. So yeah, that's there. And speaking of helping, haha, segue. My Unfinished Song sends a super chat for 222. I appreciate that very, very much because it does help. It helps me,
Every little
stay
bit
alive
counts.
and pay my electric so I can keep producing shows and things. Song says, "Hail Ember, Queen, AJ, and disappearing butts."
I love that. Whoop, then I said disappearing heart.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you. So my Unfinished Song used to be my Unfinished Journey, and I always would say journey. The word that I used as the abbreviation of the name changed. So now I'm like, do I say song? Do I say unfinished? Like I don't know, but
Unfinished name now.
I
Unfinished.
know.
Should change it.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because even though I've been Ember the entire time I've been on YouTube, people who knew me IRL before YouTube still get confused. They're like, the name I call you by changed. I don't know what to do with that.
Which is really weird to me
Deal
because
with it.
we don't mind like if a person, well, mostly women change their name, right, when they get married, like their last name, and nobody makes a fuss about calling them their new husband's last name,
Yeah,
or like calling somebody by nickname. Like my name is Alejandra, but everybody calls me AJ, and it's like nobody had a problem with that, with that change.
I
yeah,
had
for
a
sure.
friend who changed her name. It's kind of, her name was similar, but it's like a shortened version, and people kind of flipped out over that. I don't. It's crazy, And they didn't respect her, still calling her by her birth name, but that name is dead to me now. And they have not been respecting. Lately, they've been more respectable, but for a long time, took a long time for people to be respectable. But yeah, people can be a-holes sometimes.
Oh, yes.
We know.
Purple says Ember will connect a generator to a stationary bicycle. That way you'll have electricity to run your computer and get exercise while you were streaming. I was actually thinking something similar. For various reasons. I've been making myself go out and walk to get some exercise and try to get some mobility back every day for weeks now. And it's been having some effect. I went I think 6.2 kilometers yesterday.
Okay.
A month ago, 5 kilometers was like my stretch goal, right? And so we're making progress. But there's sometimes it's really, really hard, like when there's, not to be graphic, but there's days when I bleed a lot. And so it makes it hard to go for a fairly long distance. And oof. Also people, like sometimes of day, there's a lot of people that I need to dodge, like cars in the way, and it's so I've been thinking about getting a treadmill, even though I definitely cannot afford one. But that way I wouldn't have to leave the house and I could still get the exercise I need to get. And I was like, instead of having a motor, I could reverse the polarity and make it into a generator. And then, yeah,
That's a good idea. Yeah.
have my walking power batteries or something. It's just, you know.
My kid is really into like technology and building random things. I might need to like have them create something with this elliptical that I have right here. Save some money.
Yeah, for sure. Mark is here. Here we go.
Oh, Mark.
Skeptics and Scallywags. That sounds like a channel name.
I know.
Both Skeptics and Scoundrels, though. And, I haven't, Eric is a friend of the community. I haven't seen him in a while. He's been busy with IRL stuff. And when he does have streaming time, he tends to show up over on the line.
Yeah, that's the only time I've seen him.
Call
I've
in
seen him on
street
nothing else.
epistemology thing. He's very good at it. And I'm glad he's having a great time, but we do miss him.
She says, Ryan says she's backstage.
Oh, yay, Ryan.
Yay! Welcome, my beautiful friend.
It didn't make noises at me as it often does.
Bing bong.
Hello. Welcome.
Bing bong. Hi.
Hello, beautiful.
How are we doing?
See, now she can do the heart perfect. We can't do it like you.
Oh, you can't do the heart? Or you
No.
can do the peace one that goes like that. You do the
Whoa,
peace.
okay, I can't. I don't know if I can do that. But
I was just talking
my
about
fingers are
hand
just
gestures. I don't have the plug-in that makes the cool effects
Okay,
happen.
there you go.
No, we just
It's
just here.
It's Google Chrome. It's just Google Chrome, so I didn't even turn it on. It just does it. You can turn it off, but now I like it, so I keep it.
Yeah, the last couple of days, I she was the captain. I was the first mate. So now I can finally not feel bad.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I love be with you guys. It's community now.
I'm gonna take my green thing down while you guys talk. Pardon me.
Sure. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, it's similar to with Jav and Jugs. The idea is that any of the secular women can pop in or out as availability and desire it indicates. Like today I asked AJ specifically to join us because there's brain stuff coming up, and that's AJ's thing. But
yes.
She's a smarty pants.
What is your degree in, AJ?
I don't have one.
Oh, neither do I.
I'm just I just love science. People
astute.
Keep trusting me for some reason. Like in 2017, when during the first administration for the current whatever we want to call him, leader.
Orange cracking. That's what somebody said.
Okay, yeah. So during his first presidency, he was like pretty much determined to destroy science. So I heard about the March for Science, which was like it was supposed to be a march, like a national march. So I was like, hey, there doesn't seem to be one for Houston. So I made a group and I was like, hey, anybody want to help? And then this other woman was like, hey, yeah, let's do it. So I got like two other women to come help me. And we gathered like 15,000 people. Like we had doctors and scientists and researchers joining us. And I was like, I don't have a degree, guys. I'm just some random person that like really appreciates and respects and values science. So, but the brain science part, like I said, I learned it because of my kid. It was just like sort of the circumstances. But
it's a driving force for you.
Yeah, for sure. Then I got more into like a specific part of science. Even growing up, my mom, she was a nurse, and she's writing a book about dogs, like science of dogs type
Oh.
of stuff. I don't know exactly what it is. Okay, I'm not into that type of stuff. So like I'm just like I support you. I'll read it. Let me know when it's finished. But anyway, so she growing up, she had like walls covered with books. And I would say the majority of the books were science related. So I was really into reading into all different type of science stuff, mythology, and all that cool stuff.
Ugh, I'm so jealous of people who grew up with parents who valued education and reading things outside of biblical stuff.
Yeah, I
Not
can
that
imagine.
not that, you know, they're stupid by any means, but just that the rest of the world is open for you. Like, the rest of the world is a library that you can read books from without worrying Satan's going to attack you.
This
Yeah,
Right?
my mom being a teacher, she had that concept
What
with
the
us.
fuck is that?
this is the real Bible.
It's the
right here,
brain.
guys. Can you see it?
Oh,
Okay, it's
wow, Grey's
mirrored.
I gotta
Anatomy.
put on my
Yeah.
readers. I can't see. Hey,
I
hold,
know. Oh my gosh.
It's
hold
so
that back up.
I know, it's
I'm
so
trying to see what that
beautiful.
says.
That's a
But
weapon.
that's a pretty book.
I just love books. Yeah, I love books. So this is like my husband got it for me for like my last birthday. I
That's
was so
valuable.
excited. I know, I love it.
Worth its
Yeah,
weight in gold.
yeah.
Yee. Oh,
Way
I
better
miss
than
living
way
giant
better than
books.
the scriptures.
I gotta read this. AJ, where we go? I lost it now.
Oh,
Hold
oh,
on.
my
Where did
queens.
it? No, not that one. I think AJ might be a zombie. Brains.
Oh, yes, yes.
I mean, she does like brains, so I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
does it
in
mean?
fairness, brains are pretty fucking cool. I personally think brains are the most attractive part of a person.
Agreed. That is agreed.
Exactly.
Some
Right.
people don't have, like your shirt said, not everybody has one.
That's right. That's
Oh
why
Don't
yeah,
you
yeah.
use it.
My brain shirt. Yeah, you
Yeah,
said it.
your
I know,
brains.
Con. Yeah, yeah. I had
And
it
you know what the
already.
thing is it's better to not have a brain and have an excuse than to have a brain and not use it and really not have an excuse as to why you're so stupid. Oh, did I say that?
Good point. Good point.
My bad.
So Purple just made a comment. Said, "I have no formal education beyond high school, but growing up, the library was my sanctuary." I was the same way. Like high school for me, it was hard because I had just moved here from Argentina, and I was deaf, right? Like legally deaf. Like my hearing was like 15% on one side and 8% on the other. But I did not go to a deaf school. I went to a hearing school. So it was like I felt completely isolated. Like I had no friends. So
Yeah.
I would get out of class for lunchtime. I would go and eat as fast as I could. Sometimes I would just skip lunch and I would run to the library and I would just read whatever I could. Like spend my whole lunch break
I
at the
barely ate
library.
lunch myself. Always felt awkward, and I was always the new kid and didn't know where to sit. Ugh, lunch was the worst time.
I know,
Yeah,
I
I
hated
never went
it.
to lunch in my school.
What'd you say?
I never went to the high school lunch, but my mom was the
No.
food teacher, so I would go in her hideout in her room.
Ah, there you go. You had a way
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a way out. Yeah. Okay. We have been rambling on. We have not even went through with
Yeah,
the
as we do.
more of the topic at hand.
Yeah, what is the topic? Actually, I didn't even look. I clicked the link. I feel bad. I didn't. Oh, ancient
We're
organisms
making
frozen
up
in ice. Ooh.
ancient beasties, ostensibly. But, as all the world knows, we do go on from time to time. People come here for the tangents.
Improvise.
as I often-
Same. I come
we-
here for the tangents.
That's right.
Yeah, for the company.
Literally,
I wasn't
have
gonna
an
go. I
emoji
wasn't
for
gonna
that.
sleep
Voted
anyway.
on
Might
the
as well come
members,
on
by
here.
the
Might as well hang out with my girls since I'm not going to sleep
Yeah.
anyway.
I know, right?
We can certainly resume the topic. There's stuff. So this one's a news report.
Okay.
I spent all the time working on this, getting the audio up to an audible level. So I'm gonna it's only 2 minutes, but I'm gonna interrupt him because I'm not sure how well the bots will
Copyright stuff.
appreciate
Yeah.
this. Because
Oh
sometimes news
yeah, we
channels
don't
are
want
a little
any.
a little
We
wonky.
don't
So
want any copyright bull crap on
So
us.
annoying.
yeah, even though it's absolutely fair use because we're using it for education, critique, all that stuff.
Right, right.
But yeah, and half of the footage in this is also public domain, but never mind that. So let's see what they've got to say.
They've been on ice for 46,000 years. Ancient worms that had been dormant in the permafrost have been revived by scientists. CTV's John Villarreal has more on the fascinating find and what may be the oldest creatures of their kind.
So clearly not the oldest creatures. We were going from hundreds of millions of years to thousands. But the microbes, obviously, you know, worms are not microbes. I mean, they're small, but I digress. The point is the first story we were talking about critters who were in like a mostly dormant, semi-hibernative state, whereas these guys that we're talking about now were frozen. Slightly different. In Russia, no less.
Oh, Russian worms.
The remarkable discovery was made in Siberia, deep down in the permanently frozen soil. Critters awakening after what may be a record-breaking sleep that began when woolly mammoths and Neanderthals roamed the planet.
It's not a miracle, but it's kind of a super fascinating finding to suddenly see live, living animals crawling out of a piece of soil that has been deep frozen for 46,000 years.
Specifically.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. Like, you find a piece of soil that should be absolutely sterile.
You'd think.
Stuff just wakes up in it.
But I would say, even though they said they were frozen, does that mean that they couldn't be dormant as well? Because, like, I don't know, bears hibernate because of the cold temperatures. I know they don't go into the same, you know, level of freezing that these worms were in, but I would imagine that maybe the worms have a different mechanism than a bear because they're largely different. So
yeah, we're going to get into that
the worms. Bit. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, it's I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but I believe the phenomenon is called cryptobiosis.
Okay.
Crypto in this sense, meaning, or cryobiosis.
I was going to say cryo. Yeah, like
I knew I was going to mess it up.
Yeah, like cryotherapy, like the cold. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm familiar with that
Makes
one.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
The worms were found near the Kolyma River in northeastern Siberia, in a fossilized burrow made by ancient gophers. Nearby frozen plant matter was carbon dated to be 46,000 years old. Scientists took the worms and put them in a petri dish, and not only did they start moving again, they had babies.
It's pretty amazing what nature can do when you put it in extreme circumstances.
It is. It like we were saying earlier, it makes you wonder what else is frozen or hibernating or buried, but still alive and just waiting for its chance to reemerge. If it ever gets,
it's a change in state. It's not necessarily that they were dead, you know, like you're not cloning them. They're reviving. I don't know. But even reviving will indicate that they were dead.
Right. Reanimated. No, I'm just kidding. That's
that's why with the thumbnail I was playing off the Cthulhu thing, because the first critters were deep beneath the ocean, and these critters are like, they're frozen, but they came back anyway. But
there's a super chat.
I lost the transition I was going to use. I had something based off the video. It doesn't matter. There's a super chat.
Yay.
Slick and Slaylicious sends $19.99 USD. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That helps a lot. I very, very appreciate it. And says fan character sending hearts with their hands.
There you go. There's a heart. And there's the other one. I'll do both of them just in case whichever comes out better. So.
Slay.
Yeah. I can do it if I use my chin to like get my fingers in the right position. But yeah.
We'll do this one.
Something like, I guess it's something like this. I guess I did something. Oh, you just got a whole bunch of sweet stuff over there, Ryan.
Oh yeah, Ryan's having a rock concert.
I
got space lasers.
Okay, this is the rock. This one's I love you in sign language. So I'm gonna send that one.
I love you.
I do that at concert. I haven't been to a concert in ages, but I do that at concerts. I go like this, and no one ever notices. They just assume I'm doing the devil horns wrong.
Right. He just got like an extra horn.
I'm supposed to be taking my mom to see Charlie Wilson, and some reason that my job is not told me I have my day off or not, so I might have to just play hooky tomorrow because
no,
I'm taking my mom to see Uncle Charlie. I don't care what they say.
Just do it.
Right, I'm not asking permission. I'm just letting you know I'm not going to be here.
Exactly. Got me messed up.
It's one of them. Sometimes you have to do that to your job. Oh no, I'm not asking permission. I won't be here tomorrow.
Yep, I've done that a time or two.
I've done it.
With mixed results.
I'm gonna contact my.
I've never
union
lost a
steward
job
and
yet.
see.
Just saying.
Nope. I'm gonna contact my union steward when I get in, and let her know that I'm not coming in. Okay, let's finish the video.
Okay.
I'm on a tangent right now about my job.
Yeah, it's all good. It's what we do here. All right, so I don't know why they're cutting into some sci-fi footage, maybe because of the possible applications of if we learn the secrets of how to freeze and then come back to life later, it'll open up possibilities for sending humans into deep space, because that's one of the big problems with interstellar space travel is our spaceships are very, very slow. So technically we could reach Proxima Centauri in only 400 years with present day technology, but even that's pushing the limits, because that means getting up to about 10% of light speed. And that's an ambitious goal, but 400 years, we can't build a self-sustaining environment that will last for like 2 years. And in deep space, you don't even have sunlight to draw on. So you have to bring your power with you too. So that's a noof. Much easier if we could like just freeze people. And then if we can figure it out, wake them up on the other end.
Like that's what I was saying earlier. Like there's so much that we can learn from this, even though it's just like it seems completely unrelated to human life. Like how much do we learn from this type of research?
Yeah.
What about
We're gonna be like Steve Rogers or something?
Who's Steve Rogers?
Oh, Captain America.
Yeah,
he was frozen. Remember the movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Or
for
Bucky
anybody
Barnes.
who isn't nerd, after Captain America kicked Hitler's ass, he wound up frozen in an iceberg for like 70 years or something, and got brought out just in time for the Avengers movie to happen.
Yeah, so there we go. That's gonna be us.
Some drawing comparisons with science fiction movies, where spacefaring humans are frozen so they can survive long trips, and wondering if the tricks used by these worms could be replicated, worms that make a kind of sugar.
Which is what this one does.
So that is a theoretically viable possibility. Obviously, humans are far more complicated systems organically than a lot of these tiny animals. You know, like flatworms. You can cut them in half and they'll grow 2 new flatworms. Humans don't have that capability. So we're talking with, regenerative capacity that far exceeds what humans are capable of. But we can probably, hopefully, learn something that might be useful. Alex says, contrary to popular belief, we have not figured out how to freeze people. Every time we try, they turn into sludge eventually.
Ew, have we tried? Don't tell me we've tried.
Yeah, there's a whole industry. It was called cryonics. Lately, they've been calling it cryogenics. But what they used to do is take really, really rich people who were on the verge of some form, whether natural death or liver failure, whatever the case may be, and at the moment of death, which is to say within a couple hours of death, they would cut the heads off and stick them in liquid nitrogen. The idea being that even though it's only the heads, the future people who could cure whatever killed you will also have the technology to grow you a new body to attach your head to.
Because it's right. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And correlation is causation. So if they can do that, they obviously can do the other thing, I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
They might want to learn head transplantation first.
Well, that's a whole other topic.
I know.
Even cure
I don't want them doing that.
Yeah, it can get pretty wild. But with cryogenics, we've been doing it a slightly different way. It's not just pure liquid, because the problem with liquid nitrogen is, as you no doubt are aware, our cells are mostly water. And when you freeze water, it turns into crystals and the density decreases. That's why ice floats. So you get water that turns sharp and then expands in cells that are frozen and can't wiggle like they could at room temperature. And so the water in your cells ruptures all your cells. That's no good. You're not going to get a viable human or head when you thaw it out. So they've been trying other things. Cryogenics, as I understand it, they try to do the whole body, but they like replace your blood with antifreeze. Since you're dead anyway, it doesn't matter. And hope that helps. And they don't use straight liquid nitrogen. They use other chemicals that'll be more gentle. And they try to get you to a super cooled state so that ice crystals don't form. It doesn't always work. In fact, I don't think it's ever worked. But they're still trying.
Well,
okay, yeah.
I mean, as long as
that's a whole
people
other
are
episode.
signing up for it, if people are signing up to do it, then who am I to judge?
But yeah, like I want to donate my body to science when I die. So like whatever they do after, that's cool. Just don't do it to me right now.
What if you just become one of those people that they slice you really thin so they can get like a 3D image of your body? Ugh,
Yeah.
could you imagine that? I mean, you're dead, so I guess it doesn't matter. But
yeah,
You're deli
deli
meat.
meat in your next life.
I already told my children what I want done.
yeah, good. You should. I mean, we should have that conversation with our family.
Yeah, because I know
Ask
if I
wishes.
die before my mom, she's not gonna want to do that. So I have my kids taking over.
Yeah, that's another difficult thing too, is getting relatives to even agree to whatever your wishes are.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and so with some families it's easier than others. Like, you know, my kids, I told them, you know, I have the organ donor box checked on my thing. Obviously, I want my parts recycled if they're remotely useful. Who knows, but whatever, it's there. And the kids just look at me like it's an obvious thing, like vaguely judging, like, why are we even having this conversation? If you weren't doing that, then you'd be a bad person. I don't know. It's a complicated ethical topic, but yeah, the point is my kids understand, don't even question organ donation. It's like, just duh.
But yeah, my family doesn't either because like don't allow for it, respect it, because I have 2 corneas from 2 different people. So because they were done like 2 years apart, so they were like from completely different donors. So I have body parts of 2 separate people.
Frank and AJ.
Right?
When being a
That's why
cyborg
he like
is
Bernie so
enough.
much. Zombie.
Oh yeah, somebody else only saying that I was a zombie. Is that right?
Mark Reed, yeah. If anybody is interested, there with Black Non-Believers works well with this company, and it's called Compassionate Choices, and they help with final wishes of people for them to set things up. But so if anybody's interested, look that company up, and they'll help set up your final wishes, especially with people who have families there. They're an advocate, especially for atheist people who've had family members who don't want to honor their wishes. So
cool.
It's called Compassionate Choices.
That's great.
So yeah,
freaking cool.
A great organization.
Yeah. Anarchic Fox says, my corpse is for science. For science! Someone might as well get some use out of
For the
it.
win.
Yeah, do stuff with it. And Bree would like to know, would you rather be a taxidermy or a wet specimen?
That's a hard one. That's a hard
So
decision,
be like a stuffed thing.
Yeah, do you want to be stuffed or do you want to be floating in a jar?
I think
out of just the 2 choices.
I would
Put it on
stick
the couch.
somebody out in the jar, him in the refrigerator.
I can't swim, so I'm gonna pick taxidermy.
Yeah. Put me on the couch with my phone in my hand, just like this, and it will just look like I'm there, just on my phone.
Yeah,
I need somebody pulling me out for Halloween or something.
Halloween decoration.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like, part of me thinks it would be cooler to be floating in a jar because A, you're intact, or you can be intact, not necessarily, and B, it's way more mad science flavored. But on the other hand, if you're taxidermied, you effectively become a plushie. You are a stuffed animal. You're literally a stuffed animal. So
Maybe
But
they could give you
yeah,
fur
I
so
think
people
I
can
think
pet
I'm
me
leaning to the taxidermy.
if I have to
It's
choose.
like the way, you know, how Egyptians used to mummify people, they'd remove all the gooey organs and whatnot and then put like sawdust or other preservatives in the body cavity.
Yeah.
It's kind of like modern mummification.
Some cultures do that.
Yeah.
Has produced this kind of sugar called trehalose that helps its tissue survive the freezing conditions without being damaged.
Other variants of the worms, called nematodes, are found all over the earth. It was previously thought they could only survive frozen for a few dozen years. Now it seems they could lay dormant for tens of thousands of years.
Okay, so a little note on that. Everything in biology works in orders of magnitude. Like, you know, if something has a 10% chance, that means it has either 1/10 or 10 times, and 10% is just the peak of the bell curve, right? So if you have something that can withstand being frozen for a dozen years, that means, generally speaking, your bell curve is going to go between 1.2 years all the way up to 120 years, and the 12 years is just the peak of the bell curve. The more you get away from the peak, the less likely of survival, right? So the 120s are going to be on the edge of the bell curve. These little fuckers are at 46,000 years, but it's not like the entire sample survived, right? They had, I forget how many, but a fuck ton of worms, and only 2 of them came back to life when revived, I guess. So it's not like they all survived that long. Some of them, they passed a point of no return and couldn't be revived. And that's an important thing to keep in mind for, you know, the human space flight capabilities or whatever other freezing stuff we want to use. Is like you're never going to get 100% survival rate. And that has to be factored in, both for moral reasons. Like, some people who sign up for an interstellar trip, even if we get freezing stasis or whatever to work properly, some are not going to make it. It's a one-way trip for them. But also, if you're designing, say, you want to set a colony, if we find a planet on Proxima Centauri, I mean, if you're sending humans on a 400-year trip, you're probably going to want to build a colony. You have to factor in how many people are not going to defrost on the other end,
Right.
or you're going to end up with too few people or not the right skill sets or whatever the case may be. So you have
Them
to build
aliens
that
don't
up in
want
your
us to
equation.
come to their planet. That's why they hiding. They here. They hiding.
They're in the soil.
They ain't trying to hide from us. They do not like no.
If we could just learn transport, then we could keep people in transport sequencer. Duh.
Yeah, just run him in the buffer for, you know, what was it, 80 years that Scotty put himself in. Yeah.
You're saying.
What could possibly, actually, that's not an entirely off the wall idea. As our ability to do 3D scans, sometimes through fMRI, sometimes through other things, continues to increase. We can get greater and greater resolution. It's not unthinkable that we could create a 3D model of your entire body, including your brain, including an upload of your brainwave pattern. So you'd get the physical molecules, the memory engrams, along with your brain cells. Because if you can measure the synaptic potential of a neuron, you can get the molecules inside the cells too. Like, that level of resolution combined with your brainwave pattern as a recording, you could theoretically use 3D printing, which also keeps increasing in resolution, to print a new body and then basically broadcast the brainwave pattern to turn it back on. And from your point of view, it would be like you'd transported. And sending a package of data with a 3D printer to another star is way more viable than sending a full human.
Yeah.
I think you will also have to mimic the person's hormones, because hormones and the level of neurotransmitters for that brain anatomy to work the same way that it did when you were alive. That would be a whole different set of rules.
Oh yeah. I mean, assembly would be a bitch, right? Because first of all, you'd have to do it super, super quick. Because once you start building the neurons, for example, you've got what, 4 minutes before the connections start degrading. So you have to print the entire brain and turn the entire system on in minutes. And it's fucking crazy.
Always.
I would mess up doing that.
Knowing me, I'd be the one killing
That's
people
too much
accidentally.
technical for me.
Yeah.
We mess up making dinner, so
I don't know how this works.
I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah.
So mommy wants a hologram husband. Right, meow.
If only. I mean, honestly, I think that would be the perfect mate. Like when Data was dating or whatever you want to call it, I was like, that'd be the perfect mate if you ask me. I'm just saying. I'm okay with
But
that.
Data has his own autonomy. I don't know. I've thought about this, especially considering how much we often look into Bible stuff, right? Like how autonomy factors into relationships. Would a person really be happy with a Stepford wife situation where you can program your spouse?
Well, I wouldn't want to program.
Well, men would like that.
Men would.
Whatever.
Men would love that.
Christian men would for certain. Well, I mean, I can't say all of them, but I would say a majority of them, if they had that opportunity and the ability. Beep, boop, beep. Where do I sign up?
They would like that.
Take my money.
So
Yeah,
this whole conversation is reminding me there is a show called it used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it's still there, but it's called D100, and it's like sci-fi, and it's exactly about this. Like there's something that happens on Earth, and all life is wiped out, and then there's like 100 people at their fittest level, age, whatever, young people, they're all sent sort of frozen into space, and then a long time later they're like defrosted and brought back into Earth to like repopulate the Earth. And there is a whole thing about how they try to clone their brains and change it to another person that they kill. Some it's wild. It's really good. It gets a little bit long toward the end. It's a lot of seasons, but like the beginning of it was really, really interesting. Like, and it reminded me of this whole conversation.
It's fun to think about what the future will hold for us. What science can do.
Yeah, it also makes me think, both in biblical terms and in general control of reality type stuff on a more broad scale. It makes me think of the movie What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams, where he goes to heaven and everybody gets a personal heaven, which is what you produce yourself. And that seems really cool on the surface. You can have your perfect paradise for you. But also there's that problem of boredom, right? Like once you've done all the things you want to do, now what? And that's the problem with projecting your consciousness only onto reality, whether it's a spouse or the world you live in or whatever the case may be, because you can't ever discover something new that way. It's only what you already know. It's only what you can think of.
Interesting. Yeah.
I get tired of people quick. I was just saying that whatever, man. Can you go over there somewhere?
Right.
Get out of my face.
That's why I feel like someone like Data or the doctor, Joe the doctor would probably be good, because they're good on their own. Like we can meet in the middle, and then you go your way and leave me the fuck alone, and I can do my thing, and then we just meet up again.
Yeah.
Not too emotional.
Yeah. It's great to have a partner who's always happy to see you, enjoys time with you, doesn't feel like you're a burden, and you don't feel like they're a burden, but is also capable of functioning independently. Codependence gets really old really fast.
So there's a question I've asked Diaz before, and they're never able to answer it. Like, what happens when you get married the first time and then you get a divorce and then you get married the second time, right? Because they always say like the first marriage is the one that matters biblically, I suppose. So what happens to the second partner that you had, that you married? Like,
Ooh, I
who
don't
do
even know
you
how to
spend?
answer that.
Yeah, like who do
You're
you spend
poly now.
eternity with? Why? Like, did
Yeah,
you
like
just spend time with both of them? How does that work?
yeah,
Maybe
if you
that's what it is.
divorce,
We all
it's
just
probably
get
for a
to.
reason. You don't want to
Yeah.
spend eternity together. But a similar question: what about in the case of premature demise, shall we say? Like a person gets killed by a drunk driver, and the widow or widower remarries. Like you didn't ever break up. You were in love at the time the person died. And then when everybody winds up in the afterlife, like, do you have two spouses now? Does one get unfairly bumped? Like, how does that work?
That's a question that JW's never answered either, because they believe in a paradise. So they believe that your dead loved one is coming back. So what happens when your dead husband comes back, but you got your new hubs right here? Like, who do you keep? Do you get to choose?
I remember my
Fight for my
dad.
love.
My dad told my mom, and my mom, both of them got remarried. He was like, I don't care who you're married to, yours will be my wife. You married somebody else before I married. That was weird though. But yeah, my dad said that to my mom, like, you always will be my wife. Even though they've been divorced like 20 years.
It's like, is it property or is that love?
Yes,
Like,
but
what
I'm
is
saying
that?
yeah. I was like, whatever, Dad. Get the
Well,
F on.
I guess it's gonna be a foursome up there now. Both gotta be married.
A whole polycule in the afterworld.
Yeah. That's the truth of the afterlife. People don't know.
I mean, you know,
It's a big old orgy.
so you know, he's down for pop. It's all good. I mean, it's right in the doctrine, right? Like every Christian is like, first and foremost, we're married to Jesus. So half the population is already gay married, but B, and whether you consider Jesus a trans man or just a woman cross-dresser, however you think of that, half the population is gay married. And it's just, but also everyone's polygamous. Like if you marry another person, you're married to Jesus and the real person, you know?
Wait, yeah.
It's adultery in your heart or whatever.
Heavenly polygamy.
Yeah.
Heavenly polygamy.
We
remember to
deviated
do the
topics
bad,
a
just
bit, as happens around here. But Jester sent a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Jester. I appreciate it. Jester does a lot to support this community, and it means a lot to me. Jester says, would it be possible to use a vacuum to create stasis? Like just shove people out an airlock and let space do the work.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's not unthinkable. I think you'd still have the freezing problem because water in the cells, cold temperature, the ice expands and pops all your cells. But on the flip side, we've done some experiments with deoxygenation, and it turns out you need oxygen to die, right? Like the process of your neurons, your synapses decoupling from each other. That's part of the death process. It's a necessary thing that has to happen for you to die. That takes energy, and that metabolic process takes oxygen. So if you take a person on their deathbed and you suck out all the oxygen and you like leave them in 100% nitrogen, for example, they can't die. They're not conscious because you need oxygen to be conscious too, but they can't go through the biological process of stopping to be alive either. So they kind of are stuck in stasis.
Okay. So you know those things that they sell for your kitchen, the vacuum seal? You just put your little piece of meat or whatever, your dinner inside of the package. You hook up your vacuum, you see it, and it sucks all the, and it gets really tight. We could do that to bodies. Put us in a bag and then just zoop all the air out.
Yeah, but the same downside as with freezer food in that kind of case, it still obtains in that while it prevents the aerobic bacteria and most fungi,
anaerobic,
being active because there's no oxygen for them to work with, it does fuck all to stop the anaerobic bacteria.
Right.
So
Okay.
you're in a stasis situation, no oxygen, you can't die. Most of your bacteria and your immune system are disabled, but the anaerobic bacteria are going hog wild in your guts, and there's nothing.
They're like, oh, it's a
stopping
party.
them.
We don't have anybody to stop us. That's
So
okay.
you get eaten slower.
Wow. Boy, isn't it amazing how God can do all these incredible things and we can't? Ugh. Big ups to God.
Yeah. Oh hell.
Yeah, raising people after 3 days, I suppose. I mean, technically Jesus was already a miracle because a trans man in the 1st century, holy shit.
Maybe the tomb was a vacuum, like that rock, and the air got sucked out.
Sealed. Yeah,
in a
it
cold,
was a
dark
seal.
cave.
He just took a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He lied. He was out there hanging.
Yeah. We could make this work.
He was hanging for the weekend.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, 39 degrees in a vacuum. Oh, wow. See, so many things I don't know.
Okay, I did not know that. Interesting.
I used to be a sterile tech, so I've used like the machines that sterilize on vacuum, like vacuum chambers.
Pretty cool.
But
what haven't you done?
Like, this could be taken all sorts of interesting ways.
What are you doing? Let's farm. What are you farming for? I'm just asking.
You just had a bummer of a weekend for your sins.
That's right.
That's what keeps sinning. Don't
Bummer.
stop. His death will be in vain if you don't sin.
Weekend at Yahweh's.
Blaspheme on, y'all.
Jesus around the party.
What if, like, there's all this talk about, they couldn't steal the body because of yada yada yada, but that's kind of exactly like they went to the tomb, like they went and had a group party and inspected it, and depending on the version you're looking at, there's already some random dude in there who apparently Jesus is a Time Lord too. When he regenerated, his face changed, but details. But like they just walk in, nothing stops them. And they walk back, like they could have stolen the body, according to the story in the Gospels. So what if they did? What if they went to the tomb and they like just weekended Bernie's Jesus's body? They like, put sunglasses on him, and they put his arms around, Peter's shoulders or whatever. And fucking Timothy picks up his arm and makes it wave to the 500 witnesses or whatever. Like, It sounds implausible, I know, but it's still more plausible than fucking magic.
On a sleight of hand, who knows what kind of tricks they were up to, if it's even a real story.
Yeah, I still go with the lookalike hypothesis, assuming Jesus ever actually even lived, which is an interesting question in and of itself. But that's why the people who knew him best, like Mary Magdalene and some of the disciples, were like, who is this stranger? And they're like, who do you say I am? Oh, it must be Jesus. Only he talks that way. Everybody else is like, holy shit, it's Jesus.
You got me. You found me out.
Close, but not quite,
That's cool. That's farm. They grow flowers.
The fact that Thomas got so much smoke over him doubting.
Oh, yeah. Poor Thomas, man. They make fun of that poor guy.
What's wrong with him questioning?
Right? They make him feel stupid for questioning when they should feel stupid for not.
Yeah. It's a good way to shun critical thinking. But the bitch of it is, he got proof. He asked for proof and he got proof. Jesus Jr., whatever, was like, better if you don't have to ask, but I will give you proof. And that's not a thing that's followed through for anyone else. It's fucking wild. It's like the thing in the long ending of Mark, right? Like this is one of the things that Alan Parr was talking about, which is how I got that clip of him for the video I was showing earlier, the mini supercut. He was bitching about the long ending of Mark. He was trying to say that the drinking poison, the handling snakes, all this stuff, that it only appears once in scripture, which means it doesn't apply to all Christians. It only applies to the specific people being talked to in that moment, the 12 or 11 at that point, whatever. But the thing of it is, we looked it up live on stream, because that's what I do, is I look shit up and fact check these assholes in real time. And the passage opens with, all believers, you will know my followers by their ability to do these things. Like, it says all Christians. And there's another part in that passage that, like casting out demons, it's the same passage. And Alan Parr believes all Christians have the ability to cast out demons in Jesus's name.
Mhm.
So he accepts that applies to all Christians. Like, he's not even cherry picking properly.
But do they ever cherry
No.
pick properly? I don't.
No, not really.
Yeah. All right, let's try to get a little further in this thing. Try to keep the shows to 2
Keep
hours.
on our tangents.
Good luck.
I
The
know.
tangent show.
Raising some worries about other critters and ancient viruses potentially re-emerging as global warming melts more glaciers and permafrost.
Of course, they could have their own gut microbiome, and maybe there could something dangerous for humans in there, but I don't think so right away.
Prehistoric worms that are the ultimate survivors. Jonathan Valley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Okay,
They've been
into that news story. And that's another possibility. Like, we're thinking about the wonders of all the things that might be frozen for eons under the ice and in other places. But what about, there's a few sci-fi movies about this, like the permafrost in Alaska melts and suddenly a new virus emerges and humans have no defense against it because
Exactly, because there are hundreds of thousands years or millions.
Yeah. So we have no antibodies. It's like nothing we ever evolved to deal with, and it just sweeps through humanity.
We're
And
just
I think
poking
there's
the
a
bear.
zombie movie about that.
And getting rid of all of the research here. I mean, I know other countries are still researching because they're not stupid, but here, the way that we're treating scientific research, and we value more like hearsay and, like you said, naturopathy. What'd you call it? Not homeopathy, but you called it naturopathy?
Naturopathy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a common thing here in the U.S. People assume a lot of the practitioners mistakenly label themselves as homeopaths because they hear the word home and they think it means at-home medicine, but it's homeo as in the same.
You're my
the
homeo.
homeostasis. And so homeopathy is that practice of taking medicine and diluting it and then beating it and then diluting it and then beating it and then diluting it until there's like nothing left, on the basis that water has memory. It can remember the chemical signature of the medicine you put in it, even after you've diluted it to the point that there's no medicine left. And that the more you do it, the stronger it becomes. The less actual medicine you take, the stronger its effects. That's homeopathy specifically. All this herbal remedy stuff, that's naturopathy. And there is some legitimacy to it. It's not the same as Eastern medicine. It's not the same as non-corporatized medicine, but there is some usefulness. For example, honey has natural antibiotic properties.
Right.
You can use it as a topical antibiotic. You're going to be sticky as fuck, but it will keep you from getting an infection.
Works. Fun fact about honey. It's also really, really healing. So a while back, I sliced the tip of my finger off cooking. And so I was going to my surgeon for something completely different. And he was like, oh, haven't your finger, because it was all wrapped up. And I told him, he's like, oh, put, what is it called? Manuka honey?
Yeah, Manuka honey.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's going to help you, like, keep the proper amount of moisture and all the bacteria out, and it also has like healing properties, like for to protect it. So I started doing it, and like the healing speed completely changed. It was just like it looked amazing. Yeah, so I used it like I changed it twice a day, every day for a couple of days, and it was like, it's great. It looks great now. Like you can't even tell.
Amazing. I'll have to try that.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, it's good shit. So there is a lot of wisdom in
Mhm.
the elder ways. Some stuff that we've set aside and forgotten. We have this habit in the present of thinking we have the most technology ever and nobody's ever been able to do anything remotely similar. And in some cases, that's true. I had a teacher in elementary school who assumed that prior to the invention of the light bulb, people just lived in the dark at night. I'm like, have you ever heard of a campfire or even a candle? Like, of
Candles.
course we had light. Just electric light is better. It's brighter, more consistent, uses less candle wax or firewood, and is much less likely to burn your house down. So it's
Yeah,
better.
they already had lamps. They just didn't
Yeah,
have electricity.
precisely. And same sort of thing. Oh, Mark is off to bed. Sweet dreams, Mark. Mark will be
Bye,
back
Mark.
on over at his place later on for
Oh, good
fundamentalist
night.
fails this evening. I'll be over on transmissions at the same time doing this week's trans news. But you all should check out whichever one you prefer and then go watch the other.
Exactly. Catch the
Yeah,
rerun.
yeah,
I'm sorry I
absolutely.
have to read
Gaslight.
Purple's comments.
That's exactly right. That gaslight was an actual thing before it became a term of manipulation. In the old days, you would turn off the gas instead of hitting the light switch because
Right.
homes had natural gas all over the damn place, and you could light gas lanterns.
Mhm.
There's still clubs called the Gas Lantern scattered around.
Right.
Comedy show ad or something. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I gotta read Purple's comment. Every drop of water on earth has been recycled billions of times. So whatever you are drinking right now at some point was dinosaur piss.
For some reason, I'm like super thirsty right now.
I'm gonna drink
Is
my
that Ryan
dinosaur.
excited?
Dinosaur piss.
Tyrannosaurus
Tastes
Rex.
pretty good.
You can taste the Dilophosaurus.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, people say stuff like, how did people survive before antibiotics? Well, we had antibiotics. We just didn't have like penicillin capsules,
Right.
We had the effects. We had some of the effects, but they didn't work as well or as reliably. But there were methods and things that we could do to increase your odds of survival. And some of those old ways have been coming back, like HRT, for example. There's certain mushrooms you can eat that can help increase your estrogen to help with menopause. It doesn't even have to be a trans people thing, right? Like most people who get HRT are cisgender. Joe
Right.
Rogan takes testosterone.
I'm fucking on it.
Yeah.
I'm fucking on all kinds of shit, actually, which reminds me,
Yeah.
I forgot to take it this morning. Fuck.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in nature. One of the things that's often prescribed for menopause is called Premarin, and it's pregnant mare urine. That's where the name comes from, is Premarin, And
Oh,
it's
okay.
science.
Did not need to know that. No.
Do I have to drink it?
Well, now it comes in a pill.
Oh, okay.
But in the old days, you could just take it, you could distill it to like get all the nasty horse excrement out and just leave the medicine part, and then you would take it. And it's not as effective as modern HRT, what with birth control pills and injections and things, but it does work some, so we've had options. It's
Yeah, we
just
have
our
a lot
options
of.
today are better.
That's why we have so many home remedies, right? Because people have been using this since before we had the modern technology and modern medicine. There's this mix of things that I take for when I get kidney stones, because sometimes they get so bad, I have to go to the hospital or whatever, I have them removed. But if I learned that if I take this, it's like a little bottled mix of herbs and things. It helps with the levels of chemicals that are needed to break down the stones to the point where I don't need to go to the hospital. It's still painful. They're still there, but they're more manageable. It helps with the pain. It helps with the process. It's like little bits of help.
I love my gender affirming care, Hell's Bells.
Hell
I
yeah.
do. It's been life changing. I honestly thought I was just, I don't know. I just had no drive. I was so tired. I didn't want to do anything, and now I feel like myself again.
I'm gonna have to check on that because I'm getting to that point too. I'm turning 40 this year.
Yeah, honestly, if I was smart, I would have looked into it when I was 40. I wish I had, because I
Okay.
probably needed it then. I mean, I'm not saying everybody does, but I think I probably did.
Yeah.
Womp.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We make a big deal out of how it's life-saving, and that's true, and that cannot ever be overlooked. But the vast majority of uses are just increases in quality of life, to live a more productive life,
Yeah.
or a happier life, or a more fulfilling life. And it does that for millions of people.
Yep.
And that has real fucking value.
Yeah.
That's good
Sex
shit.
drive, brain fog, ability to do your job, get around and stuff, the aches and pains, whatnot, that's all changed a lot.
Yeah. And you know what else saves lives? Super chats, or at least my life.
Help Ember not to die.
Great Subway.
Electrics. I don't need gas lanterns and shit. Lil sends $5 USD. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lil.
And says, fighting the good fight and keeping Emperor in this beautiful world. Love y'all. Thank you, Lil.
Love you too.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate not dying very, very much. And yes, if anybody would like to help with that, there's ways, there's links. Super chats, of course, are always appreciated, but there's also a fundraiser linked in the description to help me not die for medical reasons. That's helpful too. Or if you don't want to super chat and give YouTube money, there's other ways available. There's Patreon, which is probably the best way because they take the smallest percentage of anybody. There's also one-time donations, but you also like Ko-Fi and Venmo, for example. Those are all linked on my website, betterthanember.com. But you don't have to use money either. I appreciate it and it helps. But you can also help support the channel by using the like button, the subscribe button. That one really helps. And the share button to get this in front of people that the algorithm is never going to reach. Send it to a theist that you really want to piss off. Holy crap, women talking. Like whatever you want to do.
How
Use
dare
the
they?
button. It helps
And comment,
so
comment.
much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, comments after the stream ends. Help a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, good stuff. It's it's true. We should discuss it more.
Easy.
So much.
Fucking hell, deviant outcast.
So much. It gets shoehorned into, it's just trans people care. We need to ban it because it's horrible because trans people use. No. Every single thing trans people use was created for cis people. And we're only a tiny, tiny fraction of that market. This whole bullshit that people like Buck Angel are spreading around, that it's all, some conspiracy to help the pharmaceutical industry make millions and millions. We're a drop in the bucket compared to the cis people market for these things. Like, we make no difference monetarily speaking.
Its utility is for everyone.
Yeah, it's literally just a back door to try to take away everyone's access to medical care that helps them live a better life, especially women.
They want us all
up to women with extra steps.
They want us all poor and imprisoned.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them think suffering is good. Like, Mother Teresa famously, but to some degree, other people. It's a little disturbing.
We hear that a lot. Yeah, how suffering makes you closer to God.
Yeah, it's why which means hell should be heaven by that.
So wait, are you saying that? So what you're saying is that I should just punch Christians in the face because honestly, by making them suffer, I'm helping them achieve nirvana. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but
I just want to help Christians. I'm a good person, and in my heart of hearts, all I want is to get them closer to their maker.
That sounded worse. That sounded worse.
I know.
I'll play it again in a moment before the end of the show.
Very Christian-like,
You want to see your maker? I can help you do that. Is that a new commercial? Is that a new Father Flanagan product? I'm just kidding.
I know.
But Ryan, that commercial that
I'll be
Chris
the
made.
Christian in the video.
Yeah, that commercial that Chris made. I'm sorry, did I just call him Christian? I meant Chris. So sorry, Chris. That Chris made with you, where you're like, holy, 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 blah, blah, blah. It makes, it is in the Bible, it's in Revelation, and it makes heaven sound like hell.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Absolutely.
It does.
Yeah,
I would
and
never want to go there. I never want to.
I've never liked that idea. Like, it's just, it's so horrifying to me. But I mean, that's just me. Maybe some people are into it. But another person who thinks hell is a better alternative is Helen from Hell's Bells, and also Freethinker Fireside, which I don't know for sure
Great
today,
show.
but is usually on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Who?
And yeah,
Yeah, she posted earlier.
Yeah,
subscribe
Helen.
over there. But
I'm
Helen,
being on there
she's
Sunday,
having.
so I don't know if she's having one today because I'm being on there Sunday.
Yeah, she's
like I
doing
said,
one today.
usually, but she does
Okay,
do
she is.
episodes in
Okay.
other times and places.
Let me
Much like
see.
myself, I'm usually on weekdays at 11 to 1 recently, but I still do the Sunday show Sunday evening. I do the Saturday debate reviews with Mark, and occasionally I pop up on other shows, like last night at the Humanity Live.
You're
But I
escaping
digress.
butterfly.
Ellen sends a super chat for 666. Hail Satan, and love you all. Thank you so much, Helen. I
Okay,
appreciate
it's
that.
Puck.
Yeah, we
Puck
love you,
is
Helen.
who's gonna be on tonight on Helen's show. Puck.
Who?
Puck. Oh, cool.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen him.
He
in a
hasn't
long
been
time.
around a lot. Yeah,
Uh-uh.
So
Yeah.
she brought him back. So
Yeah, Puck and I have been plotting and scheming to do a show with Ethan about some nonsense, let's say.
okay. I'm so glad
Ethan.
he's been a little bit under the weather, so I know he hasn't been around. But yeah, I love having him back. I mean, he did like a few episodes for a little bit, and then he stopped again. So I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, you okay, buddy? Miss you."
And there's PC with the links again. We love you, PC. No one is faster. PC
The
is
best.
Just like, boom, here's the link. There it is. That's amazing. But yeah, there's the link for. So there's 3 things to watch tonight.
Yes,
Y'all are gonna have a busy evening. It's fun though. It's fun.
I
Though.
just subbed to Freethinkers Fireside. I never saw that channel before.
It's very, very
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
It's
Helen
amazing.
needs to have you on there.
Her show's
I was
been on
already
less
on.
than a year, but it's a great show. Great interviews, I think. My opinion.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you may recall, the Recovering from Religion Foundation does talks every Monday with a guest speaker. I've been on a couple of times. Forrest Valkai's been on. Godless Engineer's been on. And
I was on this past
Helen
Monday.
used to do those interviews, and Helen was like, you know what? I'm going to do my own interviews. And so now Helen's doing her own interviews. So yeah, which, is totally understandable. Again, the work they do at Recovering from Religion is super, super important. But I do understand that there's like a lot of nonprofit organization stuff that's involved. Like there's a long introduction about what RFR does and the resources for every show, because every video is somebody's first video. And there's a lot of other material that goes into those interviews that isn't the actual interview. And I've worked with a lot of nonprofits. You understand why it's there and it has to be there, but it can also be frustrating because you want to do the damn interview, It's an oof.
Oof. Just like
yeah.
that.
So it's pretty neat. Okay, Helen is headed back to work.
Have a good day at work.
Bye.
Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for your support.
Hugs.
Yee. Absolutely. And that's a beautiful thing about shows like these is, we give people a place to come hang out and occasionally talk about intelligent things, but they can pop in and out as they need to, as time is available and so on and so forth. I do like to keep this show short enough that it's rewatchable in the future, but long enough that people have time to come hang out. And, we appreciate y'all stopping by. It helps a lot. And yeah. All right, so I promised y'all that I would show the supercut, the mini supercut of Apologist one more time before the end, and yeah, I'll just do that now. It's short; it's like 42 seconds.
it was actually a tremendous blessing to these children for them to be killed and go to heaven and be with God.
Carl, that kills people.
I have a problem with this stuff being normalized across the spectrum, and specifically, like, why push this on kids? Why introduce this to kids?
I want to be ignorant, honestly.
If God is not good, then guess what? We are all absolutely screwed.
Stop letting people pressure you into thinking.
Yeah, don't get pressured into thinking.
How dare you?
That. Nope.
How dare you think?
Alrighty, folks, we're gonna start wrapping up here. There's a bunch of different things I want to do, and I'm not sure which order I want to do them. So let's do this. First of all, tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. We're gonna be. It's Feminist Friday. I found us a lady who thinks patriarchy is actually the way to go. So that's going to be the thrust of our review. As always, any of our lady friends are welcome. From the Java and Jugs cast are welcome to pop in if they would like, but of course no obligation. But that's going to be our main thing tomorrow is feminism versus gender traitor. Basically.
Why do they hate us so much? I just need to know why you hate us.
It's I don't understand, but maybe we will understand. So that's what's coming up tomorrow on the show. But everybody here does stuff, so let's talk about that before we go. We've plugged several channels over the course of the show. I do random plugs. It's part of my tangents. It's people come here for the tangents. That's what you get. Promoting the community. And so let's do some other promo. Let's do a reverse order. Ryan, you came in last. So where are you? What do you do? And all that stuff. Which on the spot.
I'm from outer space. I'm a scientist from outer space, and I talk about rockets. I was a former Jehovah's Witness, so I make content about life inside of the Borg, and also do a little biblical deconstructing, maybe some religious comedy skits, just whatever floats my boat. So that's that, and I don't really have anything going on.
Aside from that silly morning show that you do.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible at that stuff. This morning show, damn network. I do that, and I do another show on Fridays afternoons on the Apostate Coalition too.
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean it's just a little thing we do, like apostate shit.
Hell yeah, apostates unite and things. All right, Kelly, let's do your turn.
Okay, so for now, I'm gonna be interviewed by Helen at the Fireside Freethinkers, so Sunday at 8:00, and also I'm moderator for Black Non-Believers, and their In the Cut show is every first and third Saturday of every month. That's basically what I'm doing now. In the gist of it, I'm not like you guys. I don't have my own channels. I just hijack other people's stuff and visit.
Best. We do approve of piracy around here.
You sprinkle your glitter everywhere.
Yes. Here you go.
And now it's AJ's turn to seize the means of production.
Okay, so I have my own channel, Ways to Human, right here, where I do science-y topics, biology, brain science, and mostly to debunk religion, but I also delve into things like, hey, what does music do to your brain and stuff like that. And coming up, I have this Sunday, I think it's 7 Central, Skeptic Haven. I'm going to be on there with Chad Harris. He was on Shiny Happy People, which is the documentary about the Douglas family, the cults. And then next Sunday, the following Sunday, the 14th, I'm going to be on Punk Apostate Show I don't know what we're gonna be reviewing. I don't know.
Okay.
So that should be fun. Because he was on
Yeah.
my channel, but I hadn't been on his. So now we're fixing that.
So I don't know how we're gonna do this because we're clashing at the same time.
Oh no!
I know.
It
Yeah.
happens a
But
lot.
my only off day is Sunday. It's the only time I'm available to get for anything really, especially except during the day. So that's crazy though. But I will have
Yeah, that's
something.
Chad Harris's
My
thing.
other device will be streaming your show to give you the love, and then I'll, that's how I'll do it. And then I'll just have to watch it later. But I'll at least have you streaming in the background. That's how I'll do it.
It's so good. We have a large and diverse community, and it's wonderful because we need the different perspectives, the different voices, the different views and ideas and inspirations, because you never know which thing is going to get through to someone and help them decide to pirate a phrase from Godless Engineer, stand up and use your voice. And we love to see it. So I'm going to, speaking of your voices, I'm going to take a second to read our super chats for today, and then we will wrap up. So
Thanks
we got,
everybody for super chatting.
Yes.
What's that?
No, I was just saying thank everybody who super chatted today.
Yeah, it means a lot to me. It like literally helps me not die, and I appreciate that. So we got 222 from My Unfinished Song saying, "Hail Ember, Queen, AJ, and Disappearing Butts." We had it shows up on my thing now as a super sticker from Slick and Slaylicious. They said something cool, but I can't see it now, and I don't know why. But I still appreciate that very much. $2 from Jester, who said, "Would it be possible to use vacuum to create stasis?" Stardust Lilith sent $5 and said, "Fighting the good fight and keeping Ember in this beautiful world. Love y'all." And Hell's Bells for 666 said, "Hail Satan, love you all." Thank you all so much, and thank you for joining. Thank you, folk, for being here, for chatting, for keeping the jokes going and telling us things that we don't know, which is why we do live shows. Recording, we could do a recording, but interacting with you folks is the reason we do this, because it's so much fun. We appreciate you. We will see you again tomorrow.
Yes.
And as always, obligatory thank yous. Good night, folks.
Bye.
Thanks to the top-level members and Patreon supporters for August: Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Robin Webster, Maya Adkison, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Kalasia, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, The Mighty Filbert, Hunter Biden's Laptops, Larkwright, Greg S., Neurogeezer, Mage Greywolf, Farhan Salas, Poor Claire, BTF Wayne, Cosmic Kyle, Bomb Poppy, RDZ, Billy Bongsalot, Marty Cameo, My Unfinished Sock, Austin Sims, Tinker Phil, Anarchic Fox, Sabrina Page, Leslie Hutchings, Gazela Mail, Evil Toe, Right-Handed Sith, Luke, D. Murphy, Jesse, Uncle Charlie, Ryan Cultastic, Karisu Yamato, Scott Duke, Michael Bell, Sumami, Citizen 9, S. Cook, James Nordoff, Hecklek, Velvet, KCA Randy, B.S. Lewis, Tori Swansiger, Whimsy, Kristen Slays, Godless Engineer, Fern Lovebond, Hillhugger, Karen Butcher, Milwaukee Atheists, Booba Sweat, Maya Adkison, My Unfinished Studio, Ian Chen Official, Introvert Ancom, Tilting Windmill, Christopher Tablante, Robin Webster, Proby666, Jason T, Action Squad, Robert Madewell, Doc Don Hogg, Jester, Sydney Raptor, Stardust Lilith, Jessica the Transmetal Alchemist, Jake, insert clever dapper inside joke here, Nelson, Supercritical Snake, Eli Slack, Geo Sam, Kalasia789, L Trucker, You Are Victoria, Polly Has His Cracker, Roman Weber, Leo Filius, Nikki Pare, Jasper, Yahooligan, and Pinworm. Thank you all so much. I feel energized and grateful that you're part of this community. Thank you.
Just like a spark that's breaking out, can't make a stop.